The Roman culture was not known for gentleness. Romans delighted in power, in might, in crushing defeats of their enemies. And if you lived long enough in a harsh, cold, cruel world, slowly that hardness rubs off. You know, we read in the news about all this atrocities with the ISIL, ISIS, the Sunni radicals, whatever designation they're calling them these days. It's not new. It's just we're hearing about it. This is how humans have always been. In Asia Minor, when the emperor didn't like Christianity in the 90s AD, he had the Roman centurions take the first Christian out of a village in Turkey, and they held him up, the centurion held him over their head on the edge of a cliff, and they threw him off, and they smashed below. With the whole town was brought out to watch this. Then they said, if you're a Christian, we're going to throw you off the cliff. Take a step forward. If you're not a Christian, take a step back. Whoa. Boy, that's the moment of truth. And that's what the people in Colossae grew up around. Hard, cruel, harsh. And each of us today is either becoming more and more a reflection of where we live or more a reflection of who owns us and who lives within us and flows out of us. Who did you reflect most clearly this past week? What we see on the news or Christ? I mean, honestly, answer inside. Who did people see as you were driving down the road? When they flipped their fingers at you, is it because you're so Christ-like? When you leave their presence and they're seething, is it because they're so convicted of their foul, contumacious talk? Is that what? Is it Christ we're reflecting? See, we need to get down to really thinking about this. This is not, kind of like a museum where we're looking at stuff in the past. It's like real. And Christ wants to change us. And the way you reach where you live is just letting Christ reflect it out. That's the whole goal he has. Don't even have to go anywhere else, just right here. Did you reflect Christ in your attitudes? Did you reflect Christ in your words? Did you reflect Christ in your compassion for the poor, the needy, the outcast, the hungry that are in this harsh culture around us? See, that's either we're becoming more detached, cool, and distant, or we're becoming more tender and compassionate and Christ-like. The scriptures say in 1 Corinthians 15:33 that evil company corrupts good manners. Evil company, cold, cruel culture, corrupts this Christ-like compassion. And what happens is, without us putting off every time we act unchristlike and being renewed and putting back on Christ-likeness, if we don't regularly do that, the good manners of compassion prompted by Christ get worn away, forgotten, and all too soon gone.